Hello everyone, JovialBirbVA here. This is probably the first time a lot of you are hearing my voice, so that's cool. Hi, how's everyone doing? I'm doing awful. This heat is killing me and it is impossible to get any work done. So I'm going to be going through and answering some of your questions and doing some requests, voice acting requests in particular. And I just want to say right off the bat here, if I do not get to your comment or your comment was not included in the video, I just want to say I got a lot of requests and a lot of comments, like way more than I was expecting across my platforms. So I'm doing my best to get to as many as I can. But on top of that, I also got a lot of duplicate questions. So chances are, if your question isn't in the video, it was probably a duplicate question that I've answered or I'm going to answer in this video. And so yeah, here we go. Enjoy. So the first question from OneGazar1 is, what would your OC be if you were in the circus? My OC in Digital Circus would probably be a drunken mess, high on stupid sauce all the time, because I would not do well in that situation at all. And just to keep myself from abstracting, I would probably just be looking for any kind of release through sense inhibition. Yeah, I know. Just from that, you could probably tell I'm a fucking amazing role model.
Remember, kid, if things get too hard, you can always turn to alcohol.
The Ram from Mars is being greedy and thinks they can slip 2 questions into one. So here we go. I'm joking, I will answer both. First question, and one that I've actually seen quite a bit, is what got you into voice acting? So the thing that actually got me into voice acting, just in general, was watching Tom Kenny's performances as a kid. I always found it so fascinating how he could manipulate his voice. Like, you've got, you know, the iconic voice of like SpongeBob and like how he kind of does that thing with his throat to make him laugh, but then you've got like characters like the Ice King, and it's just like you can't tell they're the same voice actor because it's just so different. It's so tonally different. It's so different personality wise as well, like completely different characters. And to be able to bring life into those characters in completely different ways, it just really fascinated me. And so that kind of grabbed my attention as a kid, because I was like, that's really cool. How do you do that? I want to be able to do something like that, but I would never be able to do something like that, because that must require an insane amount of talent. But what actually got me into voice acting, like uploading my stuff, like posting my voice out there, was The Amazing Digital Circus. Because like when I started watching it and got sucked into it and kind of became my new hyperfixation, I started to focus a lot on the characters and how they were voiced, and I kind of really grew to love like the entire cast and how they were like pumping the characters full. That sounded fucking weird. Giving the characters life, which that kind of reignited that kind of spark for me. Because I think there was always something a little dormant in me that was like, I do want to be a voice actor, but blah blah blah. Digital Circus and seeing the performances and seeing like other voice actors in the indie scene, something about it just really motivated me to just not care anymore if I was being weird or being cringe or being a fucking awful voice actor. I just wanted to do it because it just looks so much fun, and I don't regret a single thing. And on top of that, you know, you get to meet other really cool people in the indie scene or other really cool voice actors and meet really cool people. So that's really cool. Yeah. So the second question is, who are some of your big inspirations for voice acting? So like I said previously, Tom Kenny, Michael Kovac is a pretty big one. Like, I remember when I first saw like Has Been Hotel, and I was like, holy shit. I like how he voices Angel Dust. This is a really cool character. And then obviously I saw Murder Drones, and then I saw Digital Circus, and I was like, this guy is really cool and really talented. He voices a lot of my favorite characters. You know, you've got like Angel Dust, and Jax, you know, he just kind of, he's good for those kinds of voices. And he's just a really fucking chill person. So I guess that just kind of was also a really big inspiration for me, especially like later on. Like Tom Kenny was like the OG, but then Michael Kovac was kind of like the thing that was like, was the voice actor that was like yeah, I want to get into voice acting now. And this person is my inspiration. So yeah, Tom Kenny, Michael Kovac are two of my biggest inspirations. All right, moving on. Stale bread crust _art said, congratulations! And their first question is, what equipment/software do I use? So I use a Rode NT1 Signature Series microphone that goes into a Focusrite 2i2 Scarlett USB interface. Had to think about that. And the software I use is FL Studio. You were probably expecting Reaper or something, but I make music, so I just kind of use FL Studio for everything.
And I don't pay for it!
I just realized this person has a third question. Oh my goodness, we are getting greedier and greedier, aren't we? So the third question is, what made you think of the name/character JovialBirb? So it stems from the name Jovial Demon, which was my old username that I made back when I was like 13 or 14. It was inspired by Bendy, because he is a demon and a jovial one. And so I made that my persona growing up. Very, very edgy, I know, and very weird. And it's so funny because I picked the word jovial because I heard it once and I liked the way it sounded. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's another word for happy. Instead of calling myself Happy Demon, just call it Jovial Demon. And then when I started my my voice acting and got my account set up and everything, and I was like, you know, I've got my little bird, so just swap out the demon for JovialBirb, and then put a little VA under there so everyone knows I'm a voice actor. So JovialBirbVA came out of that. And now you know. All right, next question from Nightwing Gamer 12, who also has 3 questions. Oh my goodness, we are just following the pack. So the first question is, who is your favorite character to voice? Undoubtedly Jax. Like, he is a fucking lunatic. It's just, the thing about Jax is that you can go from voicing him when he's all happy and masking and, you know, secretly wants to kill himself but doesn't actually want to tell that to anyone. And then you can go kind of serious, like, I'm actually really depressed. He's a very complex and like diverse character, because, you know, I think a lot of people when they're voicing Jax, they just kind of stick to like making him sound like this, and he's always so happy and he's always so snarky, when, you know, he is, but you kind of have to know when to kind of tone it down when he does get a bit serious and the mask does kind of drop off. And I really like that kind of, that variance, if that's the right word. I really like that variety in a character where you can, you're almost like you're voicing 2 different characters, because he's just like that. He's got a completely different personality when he's being serious, and a completely different personality when he's taking the piss. And I just find that really fun to voice. You know, because he's a person with complicated emotions and the inability to sort them out. And characters like that are fun to voice. Second question, are you open to collaborating with other voice actors for dubs? Yes. Third question, could you do a thing where it's Jax meets the gender-bent version of Pomni? How would I go about doing that? Wow, Pomni's a guy now. Manly Pomni with rock-hard abs. Pomni that could beat me up and step on my neck. Pomni that could shove me up against the wall by the throat. And I'm just pointing all this out, by the way, because I'm just trying to have you acknowledge the fact that you look really gay. Anyway, yeah, welcome to the circus. I hope you enjoyed that. K Offline asks, if you had to date a tadc character, which one would it be? Bubble. The Plushy World CY asks, do you like making digital circus stuff more than your other content? I wouldn't say I like it more. I enjoy making my Has-Been dubs and my Murder Drones dubs just as much, but it just so happens that there's a lot more digital circus stuff than Has-Been and Murder Drone stuff at the moment. though I am planning to get more of a variety of content out, especially like Gameoverse. I'm going to be dubbing like a lot of Gameoverse in the coming future. Parker Guy E2J comes in with a flurry of questions. Congratulations on 100k. Thank you so much. How did you figure out your voice talent? I don't think I ever figured it out. I think it's just kind of like a thing where I just really enjoyed doing voices and voice acting in general, so I just kind of started making content around it. And I'm super fucking autistic, so I was always just able to kind of mimic voices and kind of emotions pretty well. So I just kind of turned that into what you see now before you. Yay! Parker also had another question. Any voices do you think that you've mastered? So I don't think I've mastered anything. I don't think there's such thing as mastering anything, because if you're complacent in the idea that you've mastered something, then you just kind of give up on improving, or seeking improvement rather. And if you give up on improving, then you get lazy with it. So I think it's important for people to always find bits to improve on, like as a voice actor, not even just as a voice actor, just as anything. Like as an artist, as a game developer, as an animator. Not a single one of those people will think, yeah, I've mastered my craft, I don't need any practice anymore. Like, no, they still practice all the time. Everyone has some place they can improve on. And for me, I think it's just, you know, I can still be a better voice actor, and I that's my goal. I want to be a better voice actor than I am now. Maybe we'll get there someday. Maybe we'll find the One Piece and we'll become the best voice actor in the world. Who knows? XJ3NN4_officialX asks, who's your favorite character in tadc? I'm honestly torn between Jax and Ragatha, because Jax is just an interesting character in general, and I know people kind of like to hate on him because he's a dick and he takes up way too much screen time for a lot of people, but I genuinely do really like him as a character. I like how he's written. I like the scenes that he's in, the contrast he has with the other members of the circus, that kind of, the friction you kind of feel. But on terms of like relatability and just how the character, how like the personality is and their flaws, I really like Ragatha because I relate to her so much. Like, I remember when I first saw like episode 6, I was just like, oh, she's literally just me. Like, I've always had like kind of an issue with like, you know, trying to be too nice or people pleasing, and it just coming across as really fake, and people kind of just leaving me because of that, because I'm scared to stand up for myself at times. And that feeling of not being able to speak up, or not being able to say what you actually think or how you actually feel, because you have this hyperfixation on wanting everyone to like you, or not wanting to make enemies, and trying to be like the stability in people's lives, trying to be the one that never gets into fights, the one that never has any animosity towards anyone, the one that tries to keep the peace. And Ragatha is very much that, but at the cost of her own mental health and the fact that people are gonna get pissed off and people are gonna fight, and you can't always avoid it. And I guess I just kind of relate to her on that, like, not liking tense situations and always trying to kind of de-escalate things and be like kind of the voice of reason. But it doesn't always work. People, you know, unless you've got like a silver tongue or like, you know, you're fucking like 15 charisma in D&D, it doesn't always work. People are gonna, you know, have fallouts with each other, and it is not your job to prevent that or save that, because you can't do it all the time. There are times where you can make situations better, but it is not your job to fix other people. And Ragatha thinks it is. She takes on this burden of having to be the one to make everything better and everyone get along. And you can't force people to get along. And you can't compromise on your ideals and beliefs just to please other people. And so I think that's like one of her major flaws, and one of mine. Yo, it's PDBMAM, or PDBM, asks, what's your favorite food? I like pizza. I like pasta. I like sushi. I like a lot of foods. Pretty much like just take me anywhere, and it's like if it's good food, I'll eat it. I'm not very picky, but those are some of my favorites. Yeah. Bray OFCRS asks, when did you realize you could sound like the tadc characters? I didn't. I don't think I sound like them. I just do like my best interpretation of the characters, and I guess people like them. I don't set out thinking like I sound like these guys. Like these other people that try to do shit impressions of these characters don't hold a candlelight to me. I can do them so much better and with so much more gusto. Like no. I just do them for fun. I obviously do try to sound as much like them as possible. Like as much like the characters and make it feel canon, but I don't think I ever came to a realization that I sound like them. Because even if I didn't sound one single bit like them, I would still do it. So yeah. tadc is peak asks, one question, how are you so great at mimicking voices? Is it your vocal range? Is it practice? Is it just trying to figure stuff like this out? Because I'm trying to get into voice acting myself. Also, congrats on 100K. You truly deserve it. Thank you. I would just say it's like a mix of all three. I mean, people say I do have pretty good vocal range, but I am a trans person, so, you know, my natural voice is kind of like up here, but like when I still kind of identified as a guy, it would be down here, you know. So I guess kind of like growing up my entire life, kind of having to do a deep voice to kind of fit in, and then, you know, spending a few years transitioning where I can just kind of let it come up and speak more naturally. And I guess that just kind of trained my vocal cords into being more range efficient. Like I got better range out of it. I don't know. I think it probably was just like the mix of being trans and a lot of practice. So yeah. Also, good luck if you're trying to get into voice acting. I believe in you. You'll do great. You're awesome. Keep it up. Kiara Jit. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering these names. How do you feel about the leaks and spoilers for episode 9? Have you dodged them well? Also, love, love, love your content. My fave AU was the compliments one. Oh, thank you. Actually, that took a long time, so I'm happy you liked it. I have not really been able to dodge the leaks and spoilers for episode 9, unfortunately, because people keep spoiling it in my comments, so I've kind of had to go through deleting them one by one so that so other people don't get spoiled. So it is a bit unfortunate, but what can you do? Universe 15 says, congratulations, I have a request. In your Jack's voice, can you say, I don't know how to flirt, but I can make things awkward if you're into that. Was that good? Hope it was. Cryo Daddy asks, marry, kiss, kill, Jax, kill, Ragatha, marry, Bubble, marry. Simple. ANC Production 79, what got you into doing voice acting, and have you ever done it professionally before? So I've already answered the first question, but I have not done it professionally before, and I don't think I ever have. Like, I see professional voice acting as like you have an agent, you get like big roles. I've never had that. I'm a very much obscure niche creator that probably no one knows about except for you guys. Razored Garus. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Good question. I don't think I'm in the position to answer that. I don't think I'm high enough up on the totem pole to kind of give a definitive answer to that. But my personal unprofessional opinion would probably be 2. Yeah. Kyler67 asks, who'll be your duo if you were trapped in TADC? Pomni and Ragatha. Because I think I'll really need a lot of stability, and they just seem to be the most stable characters. Probably Kinger as well. Kinger would be good to be around because he's just a sweetheart. So yeah. Malik Sharif 7081 doesn't have a question, but they said, Congratulations on 100K! So proud of you. Thank you so much. I want to say that we support you with all our hearts, and you deserve more and more recognition for your amazing content. Oh. Also, I really love your Jax impression. It's so good and accurate, not gonna lie. Keep going, girly. Love ya. Thank you so much. You're awesome. You're awesome! By the way, do you know some mother flipper leaked the entire episode 9 of tadc? It's genuinely heartbreaking. It is very heartbreaking. Because I got spoiled on it, and I don't like being spoiled on stuff, especially when it's not even out yet. But, you know, fuck it, we ball. We're here now. All I can do at this point is just make sure no one else gets spoiled. But thank you so much. That's very sweet of you, and thank you so much for sticking about and enjoying my content. I hope I can make you laugh, or bring a smile to your face at least. So, I mean, if I can do that, then who needs anything else, you know? So thank you. This is a quick intermission to say it is boiling in my room, and I am boiling alive, and this is not a joke. I am dying, so I'm probably going to be dead by the end of this video, but I'm going to continue to get to as many requests and questions as possible. So stick around. Zoe Plays 01 asks, how do you do the voice of Jax? Love your videos, by the way. So doing the voice of Jax just kind of came with like a lot of practice, a lot of like watching how the character talks, but also hearing how Michael naturally talks to kind of give it that, you know, that tone, that kind of natural cadence he has and kind of puts into Jax. Because Jax's one is kind of more exaggerated, whereas when you're hearing Michael talk, you can kind of hear the more natural kind of sounding tone. So I guess a mixture of that and practice has kind of gotten me to, you know, be semi-decent at doing a Jax impression. Yeah. But when voicing a character, especially like Jax, you kind of need to get a bunch of things down. It's not enough that you just kind of sound like him or kind of raise your voice a little bit. You kind of have to get the little mannerisms and the tiny little subtle cadences down, like how he would kind of pitch his voice, or kind of how he would, how his tone would be, little inflections that kind of make the voice. But yeah. Profile 2763 asks, can you try and sign Story of Undertale as Jax for a couple seconds at least? I have no clue what that means, but I will say one line from Undertale as Jax. Pomni, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. The Sleepy Dino, along with a few other people, have asked what are my predictions for episode 9. I don't really feel comfortable sharing anymore because I'm ultimately going to have a biased opinion because I've been spoiled. So I'm just going to refer back to what I think the episode 9 was before I got spoiled. I made a post a while ago. The abstraction, Pomni and Jax hug. The abstractions get freed and cause havoc around the circus. Those are the only two I can remember, really. And the ending is they shut down the circus. And that's the bittersweet ending because they shut down the circus. And I get it now. It was a stupid thing because it makes no sense. It was a stupid theory. I don't know why I said that. I think I was drunk when I made that post, so that would probably make more sense. So yeah, those are my old predictions for episode 9. Welch Disney 9453 asks, are you thinking of doing a dub with inked animation? I'm guessing you meant to say. Yeah, I'd be down. What do you think, Inky? No! Well, that answers that. Whiskers35LOL asks, could you try to do a voice impression of Fold from Game Overs? Yes, I will try for you.
The title screen? They probably didn't even see it before they jumped in. Oh, that Kit Bodega makes me so mad!
I think I just sound more like Invader Zim. Tang U1I asks, oh, I have a question for you. When did you start seeing signs to when you were trans? How was that journey for you when you were finding out? And if you don't want to answer this question, then a simple one is, how did you and Josie first meet? So I'll answer both. So I don't think there was a specific age I I found out. I knew something wasn't right by the time I was age 4. I already kind of, you know, even back then, liked doing what all my, you know, female friends did. I hated hanging around guys. I thought they were, like, really fucking annoying. I played with my sister. We played, like, Barbies and stuff. And keep in mind, we didn't, like, play, like, stereotypical Barbies. We, like, had our own, like, lore and shit. Like, we didn't play any, like, set characters. Like, she would always play Barbie, but I would just kind of, like, come up with my own character. So we played Barbies. Like, my sister and I were very close growing up, so everything I did, I would do with her. And it just so happened, like, anything she suggested, I was, like, more than happy to do. She used to tie my hair back in a little bow tie, and I used to think it was cute. Even though everyone else would be laughing at me. But, you know, I was like, fuck you. You don't understand. You're not in the know. You have to be in the know to know. And you're a fucking boomer, so you wouldn't get it. I was a very sensitive child. Like, anything that kind of affected me. My dad, now, I don't know if this is just me being autistic, but my parents were always like, you're a guy, you can suck it up. And that never really felt right to me, because I'm like, how come every other guy can just kind of suck this up, and I'm having so much issues with it. And I found out later that it was a result of toxic masculinity and the patriarchy. But aside from that, by the time I was a teenager, I kind of started struggling a lot with gender dysphoria. And I just felt like no matter who I talked to, they just kind of didn't understand fully. Like, I didn't know what gender dysphoria was at the time. I didn't know what trans people were at the time, really. Because I never had an excuse to do my research or look at it, like, properly. And so everyone I would talk to, including my psychiatrist, they just thought I was just really depressed. Which I was, but for a different reason than it's just depression. And that just kind of made me realize there's something wrong with me that I'm not picking up on, or nobody else is picking up on. But I didn't know what it was at the time. I'm not the best at describing how I feel at times, so how I would be describing it probably seemed more like I'm just depressed rather than I fucking hate being a guy, or I hate being in my own skin. And so I went and then, like, as I continued to go through, like, my teen years, I was like, something still isn't right. Something is still very, very wrong here, and something is not being picked up on. And another thing that made me feel very uncomfortable was when the teachers would split us up, guys versus girls. And every time I was grouped in with the guys, I just felt so out of place. I don't know what it was, and I couldn't explain it at the time, but I was just like, something tells me I should be over with the girls, not with the guys. Top of that, being with the guys, it felt like there was societal expectations of you, and again, like, this goes back to, like, the patriarchy and toxic masculinity, that there's just, people will just treat you differently. You know, the teachers will be tougher on you because they think, oh, I'm raising a man here, you know, these aren't the little baby wah-wah girls, you know, these are the guys. And that just felt really awkward to me. So it was when I turned 19 that I actually realized that I was trans, because it came after a conversation of me talking to my trans friend. And she was going through her experiences and how she felt growing up. And it was a massive revelation to me, because I was like, that is literally how I've been feeling for the past 15 years. And so after that, I kind of, you know, we talked for, you know, a few days, kind of, I got more educated on, like, trans people. I got more educated on gender dysphoria. And that really helped me to be able to come out, because if I didn't do any of that, I'd probably still, like, not even know who I am. I'd probably still be identifying as a guy. So that conversation and that research I did honestly changed everything for me. So then soon after, I went by she, her pronouns, started dressing more like myself, stopped worrying about trying to conform as a guy, and just started wearing what I wanted to wear, doing what I wanted to do, and eventually I went on HRT, which was an experience because the trans healthcare system in this country is fucked beyond belief. It is horrible. So that was a big deal. But yeah, that's kind of my trans story so far. It's not insane or anything, you know, but I wouldn't be who I am if not for that. So yeah. When me and Josie first met, it was actually over Instagram. It was cause I had been posting on like mainly TikTok when I first started out. So I switched to Instagram because I was like, oh, this is like a, you know, popular app. I used to be on it. You know, I can probably get more reach if I post on multiple apps, multiple platforms. And so a few videos in, I posted that dub. I think it was the one where Jax was talking with EJ and they were like doing a prank where like EJ is painted to look like Jax and Jax is like, I wanna check if they can tell us apart. And so Josie saw that and they said that they loved all my stuff and that they loved that one particularly because they have a soft spot for EJ. And then after that, we just kind of kept talking and like I discovered, you know, I saw their stuff and I was like, your stuff's really good too. And then the question eventually came up of like, let's collaborate. And we did. Our first collaboration, I think, was like 6-7 months ago.
6-7.
And ever since then, we've been like consistently collaborating with each other, which is pretty cool. So yeah. Kale's Tales the Official asks, congrats on 100k subs, Jovial. Thank you so much. Super happy for you. You guys are all so nice. How did you meet Josie and Emscast? And how did you guys first begin collaborating? So I met Josie before Emscast. Emscast and I didn't actually start talking like properly and become like friends until after I did that dub of one of his shorts with Ribbit, Jax, and Kaufmo, where they were like sitting looking at the stars, which has like over 30 million views now, which is insane. And so after that, I would kind of like regularly dub M stuff. They wanted me to, they commissioned me for a dub at one point, and so we kind of like were back and forth. I was exchanging like commission info, and then it just kind of kept going after that. So that's how we kind of got talking and like properly being like friends and stuff. So yeah. Oh, and also we got talking after they animated me, Falls, and Josie. We dubbed an animation and they ended up animating it in their own style with our voices. And so we were like, whoa, that's so cool. And yeah.
Hello, I'm Josie. I work with Jovial a lot on her account, but I've been told that I can answer this question as well, so yay! So funny enough, I was actually the one to approach Jovial on Instagram, and I was just like, hi, I really like your stuff, and I was wondering if you want to like dub together. And they were like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So we did. We just kind of hit it off from there. We just kept dubbing, and we were just talking, and now she's one of my very close friends. And I very much feel honoured for dubbing and collaborating with her on all her socials. How I met Ems, I just dubbed over their stuff and they were like, yo, this is really cool, keep at it. And I was like, I will, thank you. And then there came a day where we just like kept collaborating together as like a little trio. It was actually really, really cool. And every time we do collaborate, like if we're planning or it gets posted, I always get really excited because it's like, oh my god, I have like a cute little trio I can rely on, and I just find it really sweet. But in all seriousness though, I do appreciate knowing both of them, and they are incredible people, and you know, I can't wait to see what the future holds with us. And we're very happy that we can bring comfort to so many people in the fandom. It's really sweet.
And that was Josie voice acting, everyone. Give them a big round of applause, because they are so cool. They're awesome. They're such a good sport, and I'm very happy to be able to work with them. Boba Bear 143 asks, hi, here's my question. Now that you've hit 100k, what is your next big dream or milestone for the channel? Okay, so my next big dream would be to be in an indie animation. I would absolutely love to be in a project where I'm working with other like talented people and bring characters to life in a way that like a lot of people can see. That would be my ultimate dream. Next goal for the channel, 200k. How about that? No, but seriously, I think another, like, a milestone for the channel would just be working with other YouTubers, working with other, like, VA YouTubers, kind of collabing with them. I think that would be really cool. And they also said, what would happen if Jax broke through your ceiling, realigned your couch, and disappeared like that one meme? I don't know what meme you're talking about, but if he did that, I would probably sob uncontrollably, go downstairs, make a strawberry and mango smoothie with Everclear in it, and then just gulp it all in one shot, and then just sob for the rest of the week. Because I have to live with the fact knowing that Jax has now touched my couch. And now I'm just gonna have to live with the fact that my couch is permanently realigned, because I'm not touching it after he touched it. Ew! Alright, next question. Puso de Gay Boy asks, congrats! Been here since about 70k. Oh, thank you so much. I'm happy to have you here. Have you ever met Gooseworks? No, I have not met Gooseworks. Though if I did, I would like to smoke a joint with her of like really strong shit. And just kind of like go over like all her ideas and kind of pick her brain a little bit. I think that'd be cool. Chase Stevens 6509 asks, what was your favorite fandom before tadc? Probably Helliverse. I was quite, again, like I kind of, Has Been Hotel Pilot is kind of what thrusted me into the fascination with indie animation in the first place. I know it's not really indie anymore, but the pilot was, and it also introduced me to a lot of indie voice actors. It introduced me to like Elsie Lovelock. It introduced me to Michael Kovac. Introduced me to VivziePop. And I know it's divisive. I know I don't like it as much as I did, but it is the kind of thing that got me into indie animation and doing what I do in the first place. So I would say that would probably have been my favorite fandom. Probably my only fandom. I wasn't really a big fandom person, but I was, when I was a kid, I was in the creepypasta fandom. And I simped so hard for Jeff the Killer as a 13-year-old, I'm just gonna say. I'm not proud of those times, but it happened, so. Halu Hebe asks, how many accents can you replicate? I assumed you were American based on your dubs, and I only recently discovered you're actually Irish. Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of get discombobulated when they hear, like, my stuff, and then they hear me in person. I'm just like, how are we going? Alright, what's going on? Is there any news in Dublin? Alright. Yeah, no, so I kind of do any accents I find interesting. I do, like I can do, like, American accents. Oh my god, look at that over there, man. That's so cool. I can do Australian, like Gummy Goo himself. I mean, I did an Australian accent for, like, a dub I did, like, ages ago when I was, like, doing Gummy Goo, and I was like, yeah, I don't know about that one, mate. So I could do Australian somewhat. And yeah, I can do a few. I can manipulate my voice. I know how to manipulate my voice. You could say, I'm a voice actor. Alderin Hakanael asks, how do you sound like Michael Kovac / Jax? I don't know. I don't know if, like, I just kind of maybe have, like, natural kind of cadence that makes me kind of sound a bit like Michael in general. But when it comes to Jax, I just like look at scene packs and just kind of like analyze his character and just be like, yeah, this is how he would sound. He sounds like a dick. Like my entire philosophy for voicing Jax is just sound like a dick, and it works. And people are like, that's the most accurate Jax I've ever seen. And then I'm like, yeah, I know. It's because I sound like a dick. Solus RBX asks, who's your favorite abstracted character so far? I would have to say Scratch, because he's a cute dog. Easily the best character model. He's got a tail. What more could you ask for? Mr. Axe 08569 says, what's your favorite thing you've said in the fandubs? Probably the one where I did the abstraction comic with Josie and Jax is like, I am not an egg! I think people were kind of taking the piss out of that in the comments. I said that completely seriously and said that when I was, like, in the zone. and made it sound very like serious. And people were just kind of laughing at it in the comments, and I've kind of grown to just kind of love it. And me and Josie have made a bit of a meme out of it at this point. So probably that one. Ember Feather WQ asks, for how long have you been voice acting? I have been voice acting properly for nearly a year now, which is not long. Though before that's just like my public, like doing it on my own and kind of doing it for myself. I've been doing it for probably 2 years. Cause I didn't have the confidence to share my stuff cause I thought I was horrible. And I still do think I'm bad at times, but I share it anyway cause I'm like, fuck it, you know? Live the cringe life. If people call me cringe, then they're the cringe ones. You're cringe! Yeah. Edits by Sophie asks, did it take you lots of practice to get the Jax voice down amazingly? What? Really? You think I do an amazing Jax impression? Thank you so much. So if you look at like my older videos, you'll notice my Jax kind of sounds a bit different. Cause I wasn't really, I tried too hard to sound like Michael's Jax. I tried way too hard. And once I kind of like relaxed a little bit and realized just to kind of like let my natural tone slide in a bit more, I think it just sounds a bit better. Like, I think like my older ones are just like, I want to test if I'm like, I hate my older Jax. Whereas now it's kind of like it's a bit more laid back and it's a bit more natural. And so, yeah. So Skylar1132 actually asks a really interesting question. Will you be doing a series at all? Can you maybe do that? I think we would really love it if you could create an official series, as official of a series as it can get, especially considering we won't be getting any more of the Digital Circus after the 9th episode. So I'm actually in the works of making a Silent Hill AU for Digital Circus. Me and my friend M's cast, I'm not sure if you guys know him. He does like animations. We are talking and kind of brainstorming that at the moment. So it is my goal to make that AU a reality. I just need to figure out how to go about it, but we are brainstorming it currently. So who knows? Maybe soon, maybe someday, you'll see Jackson Silent Hill suffering like you all want to see. And yeah, they also ask, what do I go by? So I go by she, her in basically everything. I have it on my YouTube account. I have it basically, if you're ever unsure, you could basically just like look at any of my accounts and there will be pronouns in it. Even in like my Discord and stuff, there's pronouns. So, she, her. And they also ask, how does one even get so good at voice acting? I think I'm okay. Like, I do my best. I have a lot of fun voice acting, so I don't really see myself as, like, oh, how did I get so good? Like, I've been on this, like, big, massive VA journey. I just kind of started and learned from my mistakes and just actively tried to get better and just practiced. That is really it. You know, you have to have obviously a passion for it as well. You can't, you know, I don't think you should go into any art form if you're not passionate about it, because ultimately that lack of passion is going to show in your work. But when you are passionate about, you know, like me with voice acting, you actively try to get better. And I guess that's how I got quote unquote good at voice acting. Because I did my best to just get better. Practiced a lot, made a lot of videos, made a lot of big dubs that took dozens upon dozens upon dozens of takes, and you kind of get a bit of a knack for it after that. But yeah, I still have a lot to learn and a long way to go. So I'm not perfect, but yeah. In what episode did you join TADC? So I've been with TADC since the pilot, but I didn't get a hyperfixation on it until episode 6. Because that's when I was like, ooh, shit's getting real. Like when Pomni and Jax had that fight, and like the amazing voice performances from Lizzie and Michael just really clicked something in me, and I was like, holy shit, this show is amazing. This show's really good now. I mean, it was always good, but seeing that, I was like, this show is just like upped it a notch. And so, yeah, BWH Trainmaster asks, what's your Chick-fil-A order? There is no Chick-fil-A's in Ireland. I'm sorry. We have Supermax, which is the Irish version of McDonald's, and I usually get a wrap, like a chicken wrap out of there. I usually put like garlic mayo on it. Or I will get, yeah, pretty much like if I had to like pick like my favorite, like my go-to fast food, if it's not pizza, it would be like a wrap or like a burrito or something. X, the real Papyrus X, asks, oh, they have a VA request. All right, let's do this.
Hey, why does Jax never let anyone in his room?
Probably because he's a huge anime fan and doesn't want Gangle to know because he doesn't want friends.
Wait, really?
Yeah, go break his door down and talk to him.
Minister Pookie has a goofy VA request, so let's do it. Hey, Pomni.
Yeah?
I don't know if I could survive in this digital circus alone.
What the f***?
Rebolija. You're just gonna have to accept that I'm butchering all these names at this point. I'm sorry. Please voice a mango. Okay, so if I had to guess what a mango would sound like, it would probably sound like something like, hello, I'm a mango. I'm so full of nutrients. Ah, why did you take a bite out of me? Ah, fuck! Oh, he's eating me! Ah! And that's my interpretation of a mango. Mimi the Gay asks, do you think TADC is overrated? I don't think it's overrated, but I think a lot of people hold it to unrealistic expectations because of how big it's gotten. And especially we're seeing that with the ending, with it being leaked, a bunch of people whining about the ending. I have not really seen it, but I guarantee you, no matter how it ended, people would have been disappointed. Because with how hyped the ending was and how big TADC has gotten, the ending was never going to be satisfactory for a lot of people. Like, Goose herself said she just wanted to make, like, a cartoon. And that's what TADC is. It is just a show that she wanted to make at the end of the day. But people are holding this, because it's gotten so big now, people are holding this up on this pedestal. And are expecting an epoch-defining ending when that's just not going to happen. And if they did the same thing with Murder Drones, it would have been the same. If they did the same thing with Gaslight District, it would be the same. If they did the same thing with any other indie show, it would be the same. So I don't think TADC is overrated, but it has gotten extremely popular to the point where people hold it to unrealistic expectations. Like it's over, instead of overrated, I would say it's overplayed. Like it's overused, I guess. M's Cast asks, would you let me slime you for $1 million? Only if you could let me punch you in the throat for $1 million. Blackheart Does What She Wants asks, can you please give future comic dubbers or voice actors some tips? Like, where you get the comics and permission to do dubs for them. Enough info for new voice actors to get started. I think, honestly, the biggest advice I can give to future comic dubbers or voice actors is to just do your best and go for it. If you wait until the point where you're quote-unquote good enough, you're never going to get to that point. Because what constitutes as good enough, it's such a non-existent line, because anyone could be a good voice actor if they practice, and if they listen to their own voice, get used to their own voice, use their vocal cords and their range to their advantage. Like, because everyone is different. And that's the amazing thing about voice acting, is no two voice actors are going to be the same. So the best way I could say is just, if you see something you want to dub and you think it's fun, just go for it. And that's what I did. I didn't go into it thinking I was good at all. It just kind of happened where I was like, I guess people like the stuff I do. But when I started out, it was honestly just for fun. Where I get the comics and like permission and stuff, I usually just get them off like Twitter or Instagram, mainly, or the Twitter and Instagram, sometimes Blue Sky, and then I just DM them on those. I'll DM the artists on those accounts and ask for permission to dub, and most artists are really nice and let me dub. But obviously, there are some artists that don't want their stuff reposted, which is completely fine. But most artists, if you ask nicely, they will 100% let you dub their stuff. In fact, most artists like welcome it. At least the ones I've had experience with. But yeah. Iron Spider 31092 asks, have you seen the AbsoluteDream Truth or Dare TADC comic yet? And how would you rate it from 0 to 10? Yes, I have. Very emotional. I will be dubbing it at some point in the future. In fact, I'll probably be working on it after I get this video out. From 0 to 10, probably like 9. Like a solid 9. It is probably one of the best, if not the best, comic that they have released on their platform. And so I'm really looking forward to dubbing it. Kid Romeo 11 asks, how many TADC ships do you ship and what are they? So I really like AbsoluteDream. I think AbsoluteDream is a really fun one. I also really like Funny Bunny. Yes, I know I'm a Funny Bunny fan. Who could have guessed? Those two are like my strongest ones, just because I feel like they're the most like canonically possible. I never really got into like. I think Bunny Doll is also kind of cute. I actually really like Bunny Doll as well. But yeah. Sprout Seedly, I hate my last name, same, asks, ahem, question! Can you please do an N from Murder Drone's impression? I would offer my soul to hear that. Yes, of course I can. Hello, I'm Serial Designation N. Oh my god, Uzi, you're so cool! I wish I could be like you one day. I have trouble standing up for myself at times, but you just seem to have everything figured out, and I am jealous of that. And yeah, there we go. I hope you enjoyed. Frenzy Guy LMAO asks, hamburgers or sausage? Hamburger, 100%. Like, are you seriously? That's not even a question. Cartoon Connoisseur asks, what other fandoms do you enjoy? I'm in the One Piece fandom. I'm in the JoJo fandom. I'm also active in the 40k community, if anyone knows Warhammer 40k. I've recently gotten into that in the past few months. I'm in the Helliverse fandom. I'm in a few fandoms. I used to be in like the Steven Universe fandom a while back before I left, because it was kind of a bit toxic. But yeah. Paul Plays the Legend requests TADC characters with different tones, like Zubul with a more calm voice or Kane with a more evil voice. My name is Kane, and I will be your ringmaster. Pomni, I don't think I could survive in this digital circus without you. It's scary in here, man. I don't know what to do.
Well, my name is Kinger, and according to my calculations, escape from here is impossible due to the theoretical likelihood that we are all just brain scans.
And yes, that's how Kinger would sound if he was smart. That Black Norwegian 2002 asks, if not for YouTube or voice acting in general, what would you have done? With this question, I feel like Dan TDM in that one fucking Minecon where the kid just asks him, what would you do if Minecraft didn't exist? And he's just like, I don't know. But no, seriously, I would probably just be working a retail job. On top of pursuing a degree in either music or game development, which is what I had an interest in at the time. And yeah. TADC Edits asks, what do you do other than voice act? So I play the guitar a lot. That would be kind of my main thing other than voice acting. I make music. I'm a gamer. I play a lot of games. Recently I've been playing Space Marine 2. Some of my favorite games of all time would be like Disco Elysium, Alien Isolation, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, Bloodborne, and yeah, I'm also politically active, so that kind of takes up a lot of my time as well. So yeah. Ember's Animation Corner has a VA request, so let's do it. There's a corn.
So, what do you want me to do?
Kill it!
You saw it first! You kill it! You're the man!
Since when? Linhart von Herring 7262 asks, oh, it's a VA request. All right, let's do it. If you bite it and you die, it's poisonous. But if it bites you and you die, it's venomous. What if it bites me and it dies?
Then you're poisonous. Jeez, Kane, learn to listen.
What if it bites itself and I die?
That's voodoo. What if it bites me and someone else dies?
That's correlation, not causation.
What if we bite each other and neither of us die?
That's kinky.
Silver Productions Take 1 asks, if you had to pick only one of the TADC voice actors to have dinner with, platonic obviously, who would it be and why? I think either Amanda or Michael, I think would be really fun to have, like, dinner with. Because they both just seem like just really fucking cool people. Like, I don't, honestly, like, I would be happy to, like, have a platonic dinner with, like, any of the TADC cast. Because they're all so fucking cool. Michael would be pretty cool. I would like to talk to him, like, because he's one of my inspirations for voice acting. So I think I would like to, you know, ask him questions on, like, how he got into voice acting and what, like, sparked his interests and stuff like that, and pick his brain a bit. I think, yeah, probably Michael, because it would be, like, kind of sitting down with one of your, like, inspirations and stuff, but then at the same time, it's like, never meet your heroes! Never meet your heroes! But no, I think either Michael or Amanda or Alex. Alex would be also, like, a lot of fun to have, like, dinner with. I bet they all have, like, amazing taste as well. Way better than me. I'm probably just I'm over here, like, ordering the most basic shit, and they're probably, like, ordering, like, they have their palates sorted out. They know exactly what they want, and I'm just like, I don't know, pizza, keep it safe. King of Ducks 3156 asks, if you could unabstract one character, but to do so you must abstract one of the main crew, will you take the deal? If so, who and why? So if I was to take the deal, if it was possible, I would probably unabstract Queenie and abstract Jax. So yeah. KV8831 asks, congratulations! Thank you so much. My question is, how did you discover TADC, and do you watch other glitch shows? Also, you and your team are doing an amazing job. Keep up the good work. I love how you say me and my team as if we're like this organized group that is pumping out these dubs. It's me and my friends, pretty much. That's it. I discovered TADC through YouTube recommendations. It got recommended to me because I already watched glitch shows before that. I watched, like, Murder Drones. I watched, I think actually Murder Drones was, like, the only glitch show I watched prior to Digital Circus. And then, yeah, we watched Digital Circus. I fell in love with it. As for the question on do I watch other glitch shows? Yes. I'm currently waiting for Knights of Guinevere, Gaslight District, Lackadaisy, what else? Oh, Gameoverse as well. I watch Gameoverse, even though, you know, all of them only have pilots out right now, but when they get, like, full releases, I definitely will be following up on them and watching them, and probably releasing dubs of them. So yeah. LissyLex17 says, congratulations! Ah! Question, what was the first thing you voiced over, if you could remember it? So, the very first thing I actually voiced over was, a bunny doll comic, actually. I voiced Ragatha and Jax in it. It's the one where Ragatha goes, "You are an idiot!" And Jax is just like, "I'm your idiot. Forever." And yeah, that was my very first dub. And I posted on Twitter, and the artist retweeted it, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, that was my very first dub. NobodyVA on Instagram asks, who are your favorite characters to VA for, and are there any characters you want to VA for that you haven't yet? I would actually really like to do some Gameoverse characters. I really want to do some Fold. I want to do some... Fold seems like a very interesting character to voice. Also Gobbles. I'd love to voice Gobbles. That's also it's very deep as well. It's like, I'm Gobbles, what's going on? I don't know what the fuck that was. Because that is not what he sounds like. It's more of a crazy smack dealer from Brooklyn than a Lernosaurus. I just can't take it anymore, Kit. All those years of learning, and where did I end up? At the end of a needle. Just goes to show, you never know where life's gonna bring you. My world is destroyed. Doesn't matter anymore. Sorry, I got a bit off track there. Famous Brad14 on Instagram asks, question for both of y'all. What is the one thing y'all both love about TADC? The animation, the voices, the story, everything, the characters. I mean, what isn't? I don't think there's like a single thing that I don't like about TADC, aside from like maybe like, if I had to pick something, maybe like some of the humor in the pilot was a bit cringy. And another thing is that some episodes definitely have better pacing than others. I think it's just because they have so much to fit in one episode. Like so much like character development and story driving plots that sometimes some stuff can feel kind of rushed. But aside from that, it's a fucking solid show. But as for like my favorite thing about TADC, the characters, 100%. The characters drive the whole show, in my opinion. It's just got such a that's what I really admired. It's just like the characters are so wildly different and have such different personalities, and they just play off each other so well. And that's kind of what I really like about TADC.
I like Digital Circus genuinely because it's funny. Like, I love slapstick humor. That's my sort of humor. It's wacky. It's silly. Like, not only is Goose a really good writer, but she's also able to make slapstick sound smart and make sense in a very chaotic and whimsical world. And I gotta give her credit for that.
Neo Bikra on Instagram asks, congratulations on hitting 100k. You absolutely deserve it all. Ah! Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So their question is, how would Jax and Pomni react to N and Uzi's relationship? It can be anything, just thought it would be a very hilarious interaction. I think Jax would just be like, ew, and you guys act like that in public? I can't lie, that is disgusting. Keep that public display of affection out of here, you guys. That is gross. Get a room, you two.
This is actually genuinely a really good question because Funny Bunny and Newsy's relationship is both very, very different. But if I had to come up with like an interaction for Pomni and Uzi, I low-key just feel like it would just go down like, so we both have a thing for tall guys?
I guess so.
Nice. The shorties hit the jackpot, I'm telling you now. They hit it.
And that wraps it up for the 2025... Oh shit, no, it's not 2025 anymore. Oh god, time is moving too quick. For the 2026 annual Q&A, except it's not. I just decided to do this for 100k. Who knows? Maybe when we get to 200k, I'll do another. But that brings this to an end, and I hope you all enjoyed me answering silly questions and doing silly VA requests. And I want to give big thanks to Josie Voice Acting and Inked Animation for appearing in this video and doing cameos. It was a lot of fun. Oh, what's that? There's another person? Who? Oh, it's Ems. Hi, Ems.
Hey, everybody. What's up? Okay, bye. By the way, congrats on 100k, Birbie.
Aw, thank you so much, dude. You know what? Go support Ems. Go support Josie Voice Acting. Go support Ems and go support Inky. Go support them all. I'll leave their YouTube accounts in the description down below. So, yeah. They all make very cool content. So if you like my content, you'll love their content as well. Because we're all just so cool! And thank you all again for 100,000 subscribers. Again, I'm just doing this to show my appreciation to all of you because you're all so cool and you're all so awesome and you all just deserve the best. So I hope everyone is having an amazing day and I hope everyone is doing great and I hope everyone is coping with the fact that TADC is technically now over, as I am. But yeah. So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next upload. Bye-bye.